Hello and welcome to this video from Heybridge High School Maths Department. Today we're going to look at finding an amount when we're given a percentage of it, and we're going to be using a bar model to do this. So we're told that 20% of a number is 4. What is the number? So let's split my bar up. So this is 20%. And I know that that's equal to 4. My whole bar is 100%. Now, because I'm dealing with percentages that are multiples of 10, so I've got 20% and 100%, I can take my 20% and I can find 10%. So I know that 20% equals 4. Now, if I was to split this bar in half, my 20%, each section of it, which is worth 10%, would be equal to 2. So 10% is equal to 4 divided by 2, which is equal to 2. Now what about if I want to find the whole bar? So I want to find 100%. So in my bar there will be 10 lots of 10%, so there will be 10 lots of 2. So to find 100%, I can do 10 lots of 2, which is 20. So my number is 20. So let's take the next one. So 70% of a number is 35. So this is around 70% of the bar. And that is worth 35. So I'm going to think again what 10% is worth. So 70% is worth 35. So how many lots of 10% would I have in that 70%? Well, I'd have 7, because 7 times 10 is 70. So to find 10%, I'm going to split 35 up into 7 equal sections. So 10% of my bar will be 5. Now I want to know what 100% of my bar is worth. So I want to know what the whole thing is worth. So I'm now going to multiply my 10% by 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. So I'm going to do 10 times 10%, which is 5. And that will give me 50. So 100% is equal to 50. So this time we're given that 24% of a number is 144. So if this is 24% of my bar, that's going to be worth 144. Now it's not quite so easy when we're not working with multiples of 10, because we can't just split it up into 10% and then multiply it by 10 to get back to 100%. What we need to do is we've got to imagine that this whole bar is split up into 100 smaller sections, and they're all equal in size and they're all worth 1%. So this section here that is worth 144 and is 24%, you've got to imagine that it's split up into 24 much smaller sections that are all equal to 1%. So if I start off with 24% being equal to 144, if I want to find 1%, I've got to split that 144 up among those 24 little sections that I'm imagining in this part of my bar that's worth 24%. So I'm going to divide my 144 by 24, and that will give me 6. So every one of those little sections is worth 6. Every one of those little sections in the whole bar, the whole 100%, is worth 6, and there would be 100 little sections altogether. So 100% will be 6, which is 1%, multiplied by 100, and that will give me 600. So we're now given that 96% of a number is 360. So that's quite a big proportion of our bar. So that's 96% of our bar, and that's worth 360. And again, we need to remember that the whole bar is always worth 100%. So the same as on the last slide, you've got to imagine that your bar is split up into little sections that are each 1%. So 96% is equal to 360. Now I need to find 1%. Well, 1% will be 360 divided up into 96 smaller amounts. And each one of those amounts will be worth 3.75. So 1% of my amount will be 3.75. And then to find 100% of my amount, I'm going to find out what 100 lots of 3.75 is worth. So I'm going to do 3.75 times 100, and that will give me 375. So my whole bar is worth 375. So now finally we're going to look at a couple that have decimals, and they work in exactly the same way as the ones that we've already done, that only involve whole numbers. So this time 62% of a number is 12.4. What is the number? So 62% of that bar is worth 12.4. And as always, our whole bar is worth 100%. So I know that 62% equals 12.4. Again, imagine our bar split up into sections of 1%. So the 62% section will have 62 of those 1% sections. So 1% is going to be 12.4 divided by 62, and that will give me 0.2. So each little 1% section would be worth 0.2. And now I'm going to find out how much the whole bar would be worth by multiplying the size of a 1% section, so what a 1% section is worth, by 100, which is the number of 1% sections in the whole bar. And that is 0.2 times 100, and that will give me 20. So the number is 20. So our final question is that 43% of a number is 40.85. So 43% of our bar is worth 40.85. And again, we want to find out what 100% is, what the whole bar is worth. So we know that 43% is equal to 40.85. So to find 1%, we're going to do 40.85. We're going to split it up into 43 equal amounts. 40.85 divided by 43 is 0.95. And then finally, to find out what our whole bar is worth, we're going to multiply 0.95 by 100. and that will give us 95. Thank you for watching.